Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the ship balance changes, which will be coming to 2.6. They're bringing in some changes to ships, in particular their speed and their flight modes, and the basic changes are the SCM, or Space Combat Maneuvering speeds, are being reduced. Acceleration and deacceleration speeds on all axes are being increased. No more cruise mode, but don't worry, it's technically still there. And Afterburner and Boost are having an overhaul as well as fuel. So the first thing, the SCM speed, Space Combat Maneuvering, most of the ship speeds are being reduced by around half. I do have an image showing each ship and their sort of speeds and how they're changing, but do take it with a pinch of salty as, you know, they're all work in progress. Already I've noticed the Gladius from the most recent videos on Around the Verse was at 140, it's now at 160 meters a second. So potentially they are increasing all by 20 meters a second, but we'll have to wait and see. This is to make combat feel very tight, very precise, no more jousting or the constant spinning around your opponents. Now the removal of cruise, although this mode has been removed, the actual fact is that it kind of remains. It's just in a different method, so it should grant you more control with your ship speeds rather than having to toggle between SEM and cruise. You're just going to be able to go from SEM to the top speed, which is what we're talking about next with the Afterburner. Now, when using Afterburner, your ship accelerates very, very quickly, and I noticed the Gladius went from 160 meters a second to 610 meters a second in about 5.8 seconds, which is very quick. The interesting thing is, though, when you reach your maximum Afterburner speed, you can release shift or whatever keybind you have, and your ship will remain at that top speed until you change course or slow down. This has kind of three names. They're all work in progress names. It's either Afterburner Active, Afterburner Primed, or Afterburner Idle. So when using Afterburner to reach the top speed, you will be burning through a hell of a lot more fuel than normal. However, once you've reached that top speed, your fuel consumption will be much, much less. The downside, they said, of staying at the top speed for long periods of time, for like 10 minutes or more, is that your power plant will be running at almost maximum, which is meaning that the heat signature will be very, very high. And if you were to get attacked, then the power resources that you would need for your shield or for your weapons will be very low, leaving you very vulnerable. With Afterburner enabled, it's like cruise. You are less maneuverable. You can only go in a straight line and turn very slowly. Anyway, Boost is it shortens the acceleration time of all your vectors, so you can maneuver a lot quicker. Again, it uses fuel quite a lot, but now they say that Boost is bound to X, which allows for you to boost and Afterburn together. Quite interesting. Boost overpowers all your secondary thrusters, basically, and then, rather than the main ones, and giving you increased maneuvering thrust. So it helps against sliding, it helps to stop, it helps if you're coming quite quickly and someone changes direction and you need to adjust quick, you can boost yourself to do it. Now, what all this means, what all these changes mean, is that for combat, it allows you to close the gap between you and your opponent much, much quicker. You can use Boost to stop, to change direction, to face your opponent. It also allows for combat at high speeds, which is going to be very fun. But those who want to push the limits and challenge themselves still can too, it's just a bit of a different skills to learn. Now with racing, this will make it much easier and enjoyable for the masses like myself, the people who aren't actually that good, but want to at least stand a chance in the majority of races. It's still going to keep it interesting and challenging for the very highly skilled racers. Being able to take corners sharply and then afterburn on the straight to control your drift better creates a more rounded, user-friendly racing experience. I don't think it'll make the lap times slower. They said that these new changes, they're setting much quicker times, closer to what the community have achieved with the older methods. So, when they hand it to the top racers, their times are going to be way, way ahead. Ships will each handle a lot differently as well. Each ship has sort of favourable axes, so turning on one axis may be quick in an M50, but then turning on the same axis in a 350R may not work as well, so you need to learn this for each ship. You'll have the strengths and weaknesses, especially in particular when it comes to racing. Large ships, though, there's something that was mentioned in RTV, is that with the bigger ships, say a Starfarer or upwards, these ships will have a much higher top speed compared to the smaller dogfighters. So when it comes to escaping dogfighters, the challenge will be defending your ship and surviving long enough to reach these top speeds so that you can outrun them. That is something that I think is very exciting for both sides of the party. So if you're defending the ship, you need to be able to use your turrets well, your countermeasures well, you need to be able to communicate with the team so the turret and the pilot can maneuver in the best way before they get to the top speed. But also for the people attacking, They need to work as a team again and make sure that you have all the bases covered so that they can escape, and even have people jumping ahead, quantum jumping ahead, in order to catch them before wherever they're going. But anyway, all these changes are intended to help with the ongoing balancing of the game and all the ships. Cloud Imperium are taking the community's opinions and advice, as well as their own thoughts, obviously, and altering and tweaking areas to ensure that the game plays well, but ultimately is fun. That said, it is very important that down the road things will change again. However, this is definitely a step in the right direction. I have not tried out the new speeds myself, but it does sound very promising, and I cannot wait to get hold of them. Anyway, that was the ship speeds. It's coming in with 2.6, which should be dropping anytime in the next couple of weeks for the PTU. Once it drops, I'll take a closer look and probably do an updated video of a hands-on experience and let you know what it feels like. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Really helps me get noticed. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and I shall see you next time.